Good afternoon, Jets Nation. Welcome to the Jude Jets Show, and it's time for a very early 2022 mock off-season video. So without further ado, let's get it started. So according to Over the Cap, the New York Jets are projected to have $48 million next off-season, but with cuts, I was boosting up our cap space by $18 million, meaning we're going to have $66 million in the bank. Now, which players do I have us cutting in order to, boost up our cap space by $18 million? Those players are Greg Van Roten, Blake Cashman, Ryan Griffin, Chuma Doga, and George Fant. Greg Van Roten, he sucks. Ryan Griffin also sucks. Blake Cashman might not be the worst player in the world, but he's always hurt, and if a player's hurt, what's the point of having him on your team? We can definitely upgrade Chuma Doga at the right tackle position, and while I do like George Fant, he's not the future at the right tackle position, and as much as I want to keep him on the team as a backup, Douglas knows he's too good to be a starter, and he's going to give him an opportunity somewhere elsewhere. Now let's get into the players we are resigning, starting off with Foley having us giving him a 3-year, $21 million extension. Now, Foley might not get to the quarterback a lot, might not make the big plays, but he is an elite run stopper, and there's not a whole lot of guys who can stop the run well on the Jets, besides Foley. So having him around for the next 3 years is going to help out our defense a lot. And not only is he an elite run stopper, he's also an amazing locker room guy. He's a motivational speaker, meaning this past week during the bye, Foley went to go speak to the UConn football team, who is not going to win this season. And the week he spoke to them was the week they got their first win. So, Foley is an amazing locker room guy and elite run stopper that you want to have on your team. Obviously, signing Gerard Davis, giving him a 1-year, $7 million extension, which is the same contract he signed with us this past year. Now, he hasn't played a snap with us this season, but looked amazing in training camp. Once he gets on the field, I do think he's going to look good, and while Saleh did say he's going to be getting starting reps, I doubt he does, because how are you going to take Quincy Williams off the field? So I think Davis plays good once he finally gets on the field, and he's going to play good enough to get himself an extension. The next player I have us re-signing is Jalen Godry, giving him a 2-year, $3 million extension. Now, Godry is a pretty solid backup cornerback, and those are hard to find nowadays in the NFL. So we lock up a backup cornerback for the next 2 years. And then the next players that have us resigning are basically special teams and backup players. So I have us giving Sherrod Nesman a 1-year, $1.1 million extension. Over the cap calculator wouldn't let me give him a $1 million extension, so just added an extra $100,000 in there. And Daniel Brown, have us giving him a 1-year, $1.5 million extension. He's a really good special teamer. Brant Boyer likes him, so I think we're going to keep him around for another year. Now let's get into the free agents we're bringing in, starting off with Tim Patrick, wide receiver from the Denver Broncos, who I have us giving him a 3-year, $34.5 million contract, which means we're paying him $11.5 million a season. Now, a lot of people want us to add a legit wide receiver number 1, trade for Beckham at the deadline, sign Allen Robinson this offseason, or even draft Chris Olave or Jaha Dotson in the draft this year. But having 2 really good wide receiver 2s on the team, and Corey Davis and Tim Patrick, honestly could be a really good idea. Both of these players are on pace to have 1,000 yards this season, and when they're on the same team together, I think that can be a pretty dynamic duo. So while Patrick's not Allen Robinson, while he's not Odell Beckham Jr., he's still a really solid receiver that is going to make a name for himself very soon. And if the Jets don't re-sign him, we're definitely going to regret it. The next player I have us signing is Marcus Williams, safety from the New Orleans Saints. I have us giving him a 3-year, $36 million contract, meaning we're paying him $12 million a season. Marcus Williams is one of the best free safeties in the NFL, one of the best ball hawk safeties specifically, and I don't have us re-signing Marcus May, so we get a guy who's a little bit better than him in Marcus Williams. Hey, that's an absolute win in my opinion. The next guy I have us re-signing is Chase Daniel. I have us giving him a 1-year, $1.5 million contract. We need to do something about the backup quarterback position. Yes, the Jets probably aren't going to sign Daniel. We're probably going to re-sign Mike White because Robert Saleh is in love with the guy, but Daniel, he's been around the league for a while. He's played for many different teams, and whenever he's actually got in games, he hasn't played that bad. He's kind of like a quarterback coach, and having a guy like him for Zach Wilson could be crucial in his development, and I think the New York Jets definitely should add him. And the last player I have is signing is Isaiah Mckenzie, wide receiver from the Buffalo Bills. Have us giving him a 2-year, $4 million extension. No, I didn't have us re-signing Braxton Berrios because Isaiah Mckenzie is a better and faster player than him. I mean, we run a ton of in and rounds. Isaiah McKenzie's basically amazing at that. He's fast. He can contribute to special teams. And also, when you're throwing the ball, he's shifty. He can make moves in space and can get open quite a bit when you play him. Isaiah McKenzie is a speedy receiver you want on your team, and I think he can be a pretty good wide receiver 5 for the New York Jets. Now let's get into the NFL draft. So at pick number 4, I was selecting Evan Neal, offensive tackle from the University of Alabama. We didn't re-sign Morgan Moses. We cut George Fant. Right tackle is now one of the biggest needs on the team. So I was addressing it by getting the best offensive lineman in this year's class in Evan Neal, a stud from Alabama. And I was continuing to add at the offensive line position because at pick number 12, I was selecting Tyler Linderbaum, center from Iowa. Like Neal, he is a stud and is the second best offensive lineman in this year's class. Now, I didn't cut Connor McGovern because I want to move him over to the right guard position. I mean, McGovern can play both center and guard. So now our new offensive line is Mekhi Becton, Elijah Vera-Tucker, Tyler Linderbaum, Connor McGovern, and Evan Neal. That's a pretty scary front 5 if you were to ask me. At pick number 35, I was selecting Jalen Wydermyer, the dream tight end from Texas A&M. The guy's a stud. I mean, he can not only pass protect good, but he can catch the ball good. He's also really good at run blocking. I mean, he's your dream tight end, and I need this guy in my life. At pick number 52, I was selecting Trent McDuffie, cornerback from Washington. McDuffie is coming from the University of Washington, a school that has produced multiple good NFL DBs, and he's been starting at that school since his freshman year, and has been playing pretty good ball all 3 seasons. I don't know why this guy isn't getting talked about, but he needs to be. McDuffie's going to be the steal of the draft. I'm calling it, right now. McDuffie, he's a good cornerback and is going to produce for any team that drafts him. Now, yes, we do have Brendan Eccles on the team and Bryce Hall. Hall's a cornerback number 1, Carter's a CB2. I don't think Eccles can be our CB3, and I definitely think that's McDuffie's job to take. Pick number 71, I have us selecting Jalen Catalan, safety from Arkansas. He's a hard-hitting ball hawk safety. What more can you ask for? Now, he did recently suffer a season-ending injury, so it's likely that his stock could fall, meaning the New York Jets might be able to add him in one of the later rounds and be able to select, another player at pick 71. But he's a hard-hitting ball hawk safety. I mean, what more could you ask for in a safety? I mean, he's going to be a steal. At pick 123, I have us selecting Sam Laporta, tight end from Iowa. Iowa has produced some of the best tight ends in the NFL right now, and Laporta is going to be the next. Now, it's possible his draft stock is going to continue to rise up as the season goes along, which I definitely expect it to be. But right now, I think he could be the next George Kittle, next T.J. Hawkinson, next Noah Fant, who are all pretty good tight ends. And having Wydermyer and him on the same team is going to be scary. At pick 125, I was selecting Daniel Falele, offensive tackle from Minnesota. Now, he is a very raw player. He has only been playing football for 4 years. He's coming from Australia, but he's 6'9", 379 pounds. And I mean, with proper coaching, this guy can be pretty good. And I'm not expecting him to be amazing because I'm having him as a backup tackle, but I think he can be our backup tackle for the near future, for our future. So, Falele's 6'9" self is coming to the Big Apple now. I forgot to mention, but I did make a trade in this draft. I forgot what picks I got, what picks I traded, but I did make a trade. So, yeah, forgot to say. But at pick 147, I was selecting Khalil Shakur, wide receiver from Boise State. The guy's been putting up some pretty impressive stats through his 4-year career. Currently, he is projected to have over 1,000 yards this season. I mean, the guy's balling out at Boise State. It's very possible that his draft stock is going to rise and that he's not going to be here at a pick 147 in April. But right now, Shakur could be a pretty good wide receiver 6 for us. For the last 2 picks, I was selecting Chasen Hines, guard from LSU at 153, and Nolan Smith, edge from the University of Georgia at 158. Both of these players are starters at schools that are known for producing good NFL talent. Don't think they're ever going to be starters, but could be pretty solid backups for us. And that is my very early 2022 mock off-season video. Let me know down below in the comment section what you thought of my mock. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Let me know. And if you enjoyed the content, let me know by hitting the subscribe and like button. And if you want to support me even more, you can check me out on social medias. My social medias are @Jude_Jets on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. And I'm your host, Jude, signing off for now. See you later. Peace.